Hello everyone, this is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and we have a very different setup today because I am actually standing in our storage/utility closet because today I would like to pack my dog's weekend trip bag. So we are going on a trip and we're actually leaving tomorrow, but I wanted to pack most of our stuff today. And we have a lot of her extra supplies in this closet. And I'm hoping that being hidden away in this closet, she will not notice that I am packing her bag, because when she knows that, she gets so excited. Because she knows that we're going somewhere, we're going on a trip, and she will expect the rest of the day that we are leaving. And since we're not leaving until tomorrow, I want to try and have her not know that yet. So we have this little small storage table just on the side, and then this has some of her supplies in it. I also have another table off to the side that has most of our, extra supplies. We keep all of our extra paper towels, handy tools, light bulbs, all of that extra stuff goes in this closet. So first I'm going to grab her bag. And this is the bag that we like to use. I'm trying to kind of prop it up here. And this bag I thrifted, and I thought that it gave off the most perfect late 80s grandma vibe, and I loved it. And then now it has kind of been somewhat delegated as our dog's trip bag. So this bag has lots of floral print, and it's kind of in this canvas material with these brown handles, and it does have one pocket in the front here. And then this is the inside of the bag. It doesn't really have much structure, so it just kind of wants to flop over. So the inside of the bag has a main compartment, and then it has this one kind of zipper pocket here. And it does have these little straps on the side so that you can adjust the bag as you need it, but we usually just kind of leave it on this side. So this is the bag that I'm going to be putting things into. And then you will see my dog is very spoiled, and we way overpack for her. But I also have my tablet because this has our very long list of things to pack. So I'm going to put this off to the side. And the first thing that I'm going to pack is her kibble, her food. And this is the first thing. This is her kibble. And this is more than we'll actually need, but I always like to pack extra just in case. And then this is her little scoop that we use to kind of portion out her food. So that is the first thing. And then next I need her treats. And I am bringing just two types of treats, and that is these Greenies dental chews. This is her nighttime treat that she gets, and we're only going to be there 2 nights, but I'm bringing an extra just in case. And then these ones that kind of look like fig Newt. child and she really likes them. They're like chicken and apple, so she really finds those tasty. We usually will break these apart and use them if we're doing like a little bit of training or something like that. So not too many treats, but she usually isn't very food motivated, and like she likes these treats, and we usually want to make sure when she is food motivated we try and use kibble just to make sure that she's actually eating her kibble. So those are the treats. And then I guess these are also kind of like treats, but these are pill pockets, and this one is the chicken flavor, and we usually will break one in half and use this to give her one of her pills, and she loves her greenies. This is the package I was worried about, like if she heard me crinkling this, which I imagine she does hear it outside, but I think she's, behind a closed door, she doesn't really care what's going on in here. But if she hears this crinkling, like she knows that she's about to get her treat, or she thinks it's a treat, but it's her pill. So I do need to bring these. And I also like to bring these dog wipes. So these ones are unscented, but these are just so convenient for if she happens to walk through like a muddy puddle or gets herself dirty in some way. These are just so convenient to kind of quickly, easily clean her up. We always like to bring these when we're traveling. And this bag here is kind of a little mini first aid kit. So you can see in here we have like a hot spot spray, we have some gauze and gauze and then Coban wrap. We have some little like over-the-counter like aches and pains pills if she's looking particularly sore. We have quick stop if she like tore or broke a nail and it was bleeding. This is really good for that. We also have like a tick tool that we've luckily never had to use here. Ticks aren't really that big of an issue, thankfully. And just kind of a few other little things. There's like some Benadryl and stuff that's like at a good dose for her. So we always like to travel with this just in case. You never really know what's going to happen. So this is just kind of a little bit of a safety first aid kit. And we have actually had to use that before. And we do usually travel with a little inflatable cone, like a little donut that you put around her neck, and then that way she can't like lick or bite anything on her body. And we like to travel with that because sometimes she hasn't really had one in a while, but she would get hot spots and we would need to have her like leave it alone to let it like heal and dry out. But we are traveling to my parents' house, and because they have watched her so much for us, they usually watch her when we're going on trips. They have kind of started collecting things, or we've like slowly left things and just replaced it ourselves so that it's a little bit easier for when she does stay there and we're not having to lug so much back and forth, even though this is gonna seem like a lot. But my parents now have like a crate for her and like a crate bed, a crate like a water bowl that goes in it, food dishes. They have a cone, so that's why I'm not going to pack certain things because we just don't need them because my parents have them. So our inflatable donut is one of those things that I'm going to leave behind because we just don't need it. But we do need a towel. So it is supposed to be a little bit rainy where we're traveling, and we like to have a little towel to dry off her paws when we're coming inside from a walk. so that she's not dragging her muddy little paw prints through the house. And my mom got us this adorable little like fuzzy small towel, and it's like so cute, and it's really small, so it kind of packs nicely. And in that same vein, we also have a little raincoat. So this raincoat has this little pouch on it that it like will fold into. And so it's all folded up right now. But this raincoat is so stinking adorable on her. And it's really helpful. It's like a little bit ridiculous to like put our dog in a raincoat. But she looks adorable, and she has really thick fur, and if it gets wet, it takes forever to dry. And so we got her a raincoat, and she has absolutely no problem with it at all. Like, she does not care about her wearing her raincoat. And we're like, okay, that's great, because now it's so much easier to dry off like just her legs and like a little bit of her head when we go on rainy walks. So this is, I think, gonna be in use this weekend for sure. We also have this little Kong toy. So if you haven't seen these before, these are toys where you put like food or treats inside here, and then the dog has to kind of roll it around or lick in it and like bite around it and try and get the toy or the treats out. And so she loves this. We used to give this to her as her nighttime treat, like going in her crate, and she like would go crazy for it. But she's been eating really well over these last few months. And so we were using this to put her kibble in, and then would put like a few treats on top, but we just haven't needed to use it very much. But she still really likes it as like an every now and then treat, like toy. And she doesn't really play with any other toys. So we do want to bring this with just in case, and it would give her something fun to do. Also going to bring her pill organizer. So this is definitely a necessity because she's an old lady that has a few different pills and supplements that she takes. I've actually refilled just the next few days so that we have some extras, and then when we get back we'll just refill those ones. But this is really helpful just to keep us organized, and it's so nice not to have to bring like all of her different pill bottles and supplement bags, so that's nice. And this is a little bandana that says Edna, and it is the cutest stinking thing, and I love it. And my mother-in-law actually got this for us when we first got Edna, and this is my favorite bandana for her. And I don't think we need a bunch of bandanas for a weekend trip, so this is the only one that I'm going to bring. She doesn't always wear a bandana, but like if we're going out and about somewhere, I think she looks so adorable. And she's kind of like a cinnamon colored husky, and so this just looks so good with her colors. So I am going to pack this, but I'm going to put it in the front of the bag so that it is just kind of easy and available to grab. Just like that. Alright, and then this is kind of overkill, but our dog, being a husky, needs very regular brushing, and we have multiple brushes for her. So this is an undercoat rake. It has pretty thick tines that get really deep into our undercoat and really help kind of loosen any of that like potentially compacted fur. So this one's really good for that. This one here is just kind of like a little comb. This this one's useful if she has little like knots or tangles or something. We usually don't have to use this one, but it's always good to have just in case, especially if she gets like some mud or something stuck in her fur and we're trying to like get it out. This is helpful for that. And then this is my absolute favorite brush, and I have this very worn cover on it still because it is kind of sharp. But this is the Equi Groomer, and it has all of these teeny tiny little tines. I'm going to see if my camera will focus on it. But this helps, you just kind of drag it right over her coat and it helps grab all of that loose fur. And it is like phenomenal. We absolutely love this. We like to have this one. And luckily she's not shedding too much right now, but she is about to be, because she's about to grow in her winter coat, and so she usually sheds all of the coat that she had over the summer and gets like a different, it's almost like a thicker undercoat and a little bit softer on the top. So it's really interesting how she has kind of two different coats throughout the year. So we really like to have all of those brushes. It's a little overkill, but it's just nice to have them with us. And then I did say that my parents have a couple of food bowls already, but we like to bring just an extra plain little cheap metal bowl as just like an extra just in case. And if we spend a lot of time like outside on my parents' like back patio, we can have this as an extra water bowl for when we're out there, so that she's not having to like go all the way back inside for water. So this is kind of helpful for that. So I'm just putting that kind of off to the side. And then the next thing is this extra leash. So we have a few different extra leashes for her. We have one that's actually like a 15-foot leash. We're not going to bring that with us because I don't think we're going to need it. My parents have a really nice, secure, fenced backyard, so she can just kind of roam around as she pleases. But we always like to have an extra leash, and this one is just kind of a cheap one that we got, I think, from like Petco. But it's just so nice to have something like this in case something happens to our other leash. Like, you just never know. We're like, I like to be way over prepared, like just in case something happens. I'm gonna put this like tucked away into the bowl, just off to the side. Okay, and then I also like to pack a couple of extra waist bag rolls. So we do have a little clip attachment to her walking leash with a little like dispenser for these waist bags, and this is like way overkill, but I'm gonna bring a couple of extra. I don't think we'll even need these, but if we end up not using them, I can leave them with my parents so that they have some of these kind of nicer, thicker ones. These ones are a little bit more eco-friendly than some of the other ones that you can get, so I just kind of want to bring these just in case again. And I'm going to put these just right in this zipper pouch up top. And then something else I'm actually going to put in here are these little tags. So as you can see, they say Edna. And these are little collar tags that on the back side have our information, but these ones are actually set up for my parents' house because, again, they watch Edna so much that we got these little tags with their address and my mom's phone number, and I'm going to bring these so that I can leave them at their house so that anytime they're watching Edna, they can just swap out the ones that we have like for our information with these ones. And that way, if she like escapes the yard or like, you know, breaks away on a walk or something, you know, like something terrible like that, like if somebody found her, they'd easily be able to call my parents. And she is microchipped, but a lot of people don't know to take like a dog or an animal that they found like to a vet or a pet store to get them scanned. So we like to make sure that she always has like identifying information on her collar and on her harness. And she's actually wearing her collar right now, so there are a few things that I'm just not going to pack because she's like still using it, like her harness, her collar, her walking leash. Like we're going to use that to like take her into the car, all of that stuff. Also, we have her favorite bed. We always bring her favorite bed so that she can hang out in the living room at my parents' house and just kind of chill on it. But we're not gonna, like, I'm not gonna show that because it's like large and it doesn't go in this little bag. And this item is, I just washed it, so it's kind of got water in it. But this is a little portable water bowl for dogs, and we love this water bottle. For her, we bring it when we're going on longer walks or car rides, trips. We fill this up. So this is really convenient. You just fill it up with water and then you tilt it, and there is kind of like some holes there that like let the water filter out through this hole, and then it kind of pools up in this little like bowl, and then your dog can just drink from it. This is so convenient. We absolutely love this. It's like a must. Anytime we go on a trip, she just drinks so much water. So it's just really convenient to have something like this. I do need to fill that up, but I don't want to forget it, so I'm going to set it in the bag, and then tomorrow morning when we're actually getting ready to leave, we will fill it up. And one more thing that's not very glamorous at all is this enzyme cleaner. So this, you can see, it's called Nature's Miracle Urine Destroyer. So our dog, thankfully, is pretty good now, but when we first got her, she was not entirely fully potty trained inside, and so every now and then she would kind of have some accidents. She spent a lot of time in a shelter and then at a rescue where she would just use the bathroom in the little like concrete shelter that she was staying in, so she just kind of got used to that, we think. But we always like to travel with this just in case she has an accident. She's so good about it now, but like every now and then if she gets really stressed or like crazy excited, she might have a little accident. So we like to have this little cleaner spray. It just really makes sure that we're fully cleaning the urine out of like any carpet or on the flooring. It like helps get stains out. So this is great stuff. I highly recommend it. And she's like not bothered by the smell or like anything about it at all. So this is really convenient. However, I am not going to pack this in this bag because I am scared about this like spilling out. That's never happened before, but I like to have this in a separate like grocery plastic bag with a roll of paper towels. So I am going to set this off to the side over here just so that I don't forget it when we are traveling tomorrow. Alright, and that is pretty much everything that I'm going to pack. So I do, like I was saying, we do have kind of small things here and there that I'm not going to grab just yet. And we also have some extra things, like if we were going camping, I would also bring, like we have a dog bug spray, we have a sunscreen, we also have like a pet cologne. You just like spritz it on her fur and like brush it through, and it makes her like smell a little bit better. She was recently groomed, so I'm not gonna pack that. I think we just aren't gonna need it. But I think that that is pretty much everything else that I'm going to bring. I'm gonna go ahead and zip this up. There we go. So this is my dog's little weekend bag. I this bag is so stinking cute. And again, I know that I like way overpack, but I would rather have lots of extra stuff that we end up not needing than, need something that we just don't have, especially when we have the space to bring it. So we're also very lucky that my parents have so much stuff for Edna at their house so that we don't need to lug around like her crate and her crate mat and like all of the stuff like that. Like they already have all of that at their house. I'm also just noticing this little button on this handle is missing. That's kind of sad, but I've had this bag for so many years and I thrifted it, so I don't know if that was maybe originally missing when I bought it. I have no idea. It's interesting. I hope that you enjoyed this video and getting to watch me pack some of my dog's travel items before our trip. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest